Your identity can only be found through struggle, not when things are easy, not when everything is going your way, not when you're comfortable, because comfort doesn't reveal who you are, it hides it. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid the struggle. They want the outcome, but not the process. They want the success, but not the resistance. They want confidence, but avoid everything that would force them to earn it, essentially. And then they wonder why they feel lost in life. There was this guy, he had no direction in life. He had no real sense of who he was. Every decision he made was based on what felt easiest, and he avoided the hard conversations and avoided the risks, avoided the discomforts, and for a while it worked. Life stayed smooth. There was no pressure, there was no chaos, there was no real problems. But something felt off for him. Because when nothing challenges you, nothing actually shapes you. And then when nothing shapes you, you're not growing. You end up drifting. One late night, he was sitting alone. There was no distractions. There was no noises. It was just him and his thoughts. And for the first time, he asked himself something real. Who am I actually? Not the version people see, not the version he pretended to be, but the real one. He didn't have an answer. That's when it hit him. He had spent his entire life avoiding the very things that would have shown him who he was. Because struggle forces truth. When things get hard, you can't fake the discipline. You can't fake the courage. You can't fake the resilience. It all gets exposed at that time. So without even realizing it, he made a decision. Not some big dramatic one, just a quiet shift. He stopped running from the struggle and he started choosing things that challenged him. He woke up earlier even when he didn't want to. He worked harder even when it sucked, and he faced situations he used to avoid. And at first it was very uncomfortable. It was messy, it was frustrating, it was uncertain, but something started to change, not outside, but inside. He started learning things about himself that he could push through when he thought he couldn't, and that he could stay consistent even when motivation was gone, that he didn't need to feel ready to take action. And slowly, a version of him started to form, one that didn't exist before. That's what people don't understand. You don't find your identity by thinking about it. You don't discover it sitting still. You don't figure it out by waiting for clarity. You build it through action, through the resistance, through the struggle. Because struggle strips away everything, all the excuses, all the illusions, all the comfort, and what's left, it's you. Not the version you wish you were, the real version, that one that shows up when things get hard. And that's where identity is formed, not in the comfort, but in the pressure. Think about it for a sec. Anyone can feel confident when things are easy. Anyone can feel motivated when everything is working. Anyone can feel strong when there's no resistance. But who are you when everything falls apart is the real question. When you're tired, when you're stressed, when there's nothing going your way. So instead of asking, how do I avoid the hard things? Start asking, what is this struggle trying to show me? Because every difficult moment is revealing something. Your discipline, your patience, your mindset, and your limits. And more importantly, your potential. The problem is most people quit before they ever see it. They feel the pressure and then they run. They hit the resistance and then they stop. They get that uncomfortableness and then they go back to what's easy. And because of that, they never actually meet the version of themselves that exists on the other side of the struggle. That version stronger, sharper, more disciplined, more certain, but it's not earned. It's not given at all. That guy is starting to realize this. Every time something felt hard, instead of pulling back, he leaned right in. Not perfectly, not consistently at first, but intentionally. And over time, he changed. Not because his life got easier, but because he got stronger. And for the first time, he knew who he was for once. Not because someone told him, and not because he figured it out in his head, but because he lived it. That's the difference. Identity isn't something you find in comfort, it's something you earn in struggle. So if you feel lost right now in your life, if you don't know who you are, if things start to feel uncertain, that's okay, that's good. That means you're at the beginning, because clarity doesn't come before the struggle, it comes from it. So stop running from the hard things, stop avoiding the discomfort, stop trying to take the easy path, because the easy path leads to the version of you that never truly forms. And the hard path, that's where you meet yourself. Not the version you pretend to be, but the version you actually are. So lean into it, into the struggle, into the pressure, into the discomfort, because that's not what's gonna break you. It's what's fucking building you. And if you want more real lessons like this, subscribe for more daily lessons.